everybody. Welcome to Alta Call, and I'm your host, Tane, here with a new episode to talk about the Inside Reality and America's Next Top Model documentary. It has so many names that I can't even keep track, but y'all know what I'm talking about. The documentary about Tyra, that Tyra doc.
There you
Is
go.
basically what it is. And I had to have my guest today because we're going to talk about the podcast, and she got me to watch that. But it's Raven from Bitches Better. Hi, Raven. How you doing?
Hi, I'm great. I'm so excited to be here to talk about this mess. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being on here. We're taking it out from, the text conversations when we were listening to the podcast. And the
Mhm.
podcast I'm talking about is called The Curse of the American Top Model by Bridget Armstrong. I really just
Yes.
want her name to say her name right and to give her credit because she did a fantastic job on that
Mhm.
podcast. Dare I say it was better than this three-part documentary on Netflix. The only difference is
Absolutely.
Tyra was not on there.
Yeah,
There's so much context, and it almost feels like you got to listen to it to watch this doc.
I totally agree. That's why I was hoping people would listen to it before they watched, but
Hmm.
if they didn't, definitely listen to it after. I don't think that would change how you feel, but
Yeah.
there's just way more
Hmm.
information, more people that were actually involved, way
Yeah.
more just it's better.
Yeah.
It's better than this documentary.
It really is. It really is. When I was thinking about us recording this, I was about to say, like, this might be difficult to talk about, but the word is not difficult. I think it's more saying that, listen, when Tyra started this show or had this idea,
Mhm.
she wanted to make strides in the industry, right? Some were made, but at the same time, it was done at the cost of these girls.
Yeah.
So two things can be true. And yes, we say, the narrative is that she was trying to make strides, but it was hugely self interest.
Well, that's her whole thing.
Yes.
That's her
Yes.
whole thing. Even from watching the show at a young age, because I think I was in high school when this came out,
Hmm.
I was getting so annoyed with her, always bringing everything back to her.
Yes.
Everything was like, well, I did this. And when I was a model, and when I was in Paris, and I was like
Hmm.
this, and I was like that. It's like, girl, okay,
Hmm.
we get it. We get it.
Yeah. For lack of a better word, guys, I mean, everybody should know by now, Tyra is a little cuckoo.
Mm.
It's just, she's she's
Just putting it
she's
nicely.
obsessed with herself
Yeah.
and she made everything about her, but also you can see that she is obsessed with being famous
Yeah.
and she calls it, success, and there's nothing, wrong with that. But what I was trying to say was like she did make some strides. I'm not gonna lie, watching the documentary reminded me that having Miss J, having Mr. J, having a plus size model,
Mhm.
having Eva, who was like 5'6" on there, these are strides. Having Winnie Harlow, having Isis, like these were things we hadn't seen on TV before. So they were done. Two things were true. But when I was listening to the podcast, my first thought was, oh, it was the times, we all were terrible. Like I watched it, I was like, damn, but I wasn't like, damn. It was more like, oh, it is what it is, and that's it. But after hearing the podcast and hearing how these women did not have food, these women had to find, coins to do their laundry, and the way that she took advantage of them for her talk show, the
That
stories that they told
oh my god.
on there,
Yeah.
that's when it was like, okay, there's no excuse for any of this. And I think the biggest crime right now with Tyra is the lack of remorse. I
It's just not there.
It's not
'Cause it's
there.
like the worst of the worst things, like, even the Shandy thing, she's just like, "I don't have
I
nothing to do
wasn't
with
I
that.
wasn't part of it. The
I wasn't a
executive
part of it."
producer.
The executive producer had nothing to do with production. She said, "I don't know. I don't know. Ask somebody else about that." But, like, what about you having her on your talk show and making her
Watch it.
relive it? Like, she's sick. She's sick, and
Yeah.
I'm having such a hard time with all of this
Yes.
because I watched this show and I loved it in real time. And I'm like, I
Yeah.
didn't have any issues. I don't remember being like, oh my God, about anything that I watched, to be completely honest. And
Yeah.
maybe that's because it was the time I was
Yeah.
young, I like whatever. Um, a- and she's Tyra. She's Tyra Banks.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
like, she's been that girl. And listening to that podcast, I was like, oh no, this is bad.
Yeah.
This is bad. And then watching this is bad. And I just don't know what to make of her anymore. It's difficult.
It's for context, guys. Like, even if you think anything they showed, like, oh, it wasn't that bad, or that's a mistake on its own, it was bad. But I do think, like, telling the story of Isis, where, for those who don't know, Isis was a trans model. Tyra brought her on her talk show, actually got her a surgeon to have, gender affirming surgery, and then if after she had it, brought her back and started asking personal questions like, are you intimate with this person? Are you
Mhm.
intimate with your boyfriend? And just, diving into things that they didn't want to talk about. And that's just one example. There were other, someone in a domestic violence relationship or something, just making them relive this whole thing. And I know Tyra wants to say it was signs of the times and it was back then. We didn't know, because Sherry Shepard, I don't know if you saw that rant of Sherry Shepard.
No, I
Going
don't
on and
really,
on. Okay.
Sherry.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Tell me. No, tell me. I just
No,
didn't
no.
see.
No, she went on a rant on her talk show saying, like, we're not going to diminish, like, a black woman, that they go through so many struggles behind the scenes to put things, to have things on air. They don't always get it right. And then sometimes, you question, did I say or do the right thing?
Mhm.
And, it's not, and basically, like, she didn't know any better. And that's why
Mhm.
she did it, which is okay. Fine if you think that. But my counter to that is, Tyra herself even said, oh, we didn't know, therapy, all that. Sherry said that, there's no therapy. But guys, for Tiffany, remember her first season? She got into a fight. What did they
Oh,
do?
yep.
They
Anger
took her.
management.
There you go. In their
Yeah.
podcast, we have different examples where they took people to a therapist or go talk or take care. So that is not an argument, guys. They knew what to do.
It's not. And even if they didn't, it's like back to today in the documentary, there's no accountability.
Yeah.
It's still just like, oh, well, okay, but do you think there's a problem with it today, Tyra?
Yeah.
She's like, oh, I know people are watching it now and new eyes, new generation, and they're saying all these things. And it's like, are you taking any of it in? Are you thinking about any of it? Do you think
Yeah.
any points are being made? Or are you like,
Yeah.
ah,
Do you
girl?
think though that if she was remorseful, it would make a difference, or are people just out for blood, for Tyra's blood?
I think it would make a difference to some people. I would like for her to do that so I can I can personally feel better about the situation. But
Yeah,
no, I think the majority are out for blood. Yes.
yeah. And that's the other thing that I had gripe with. Like, yes, Tyra, it was her baby. She did that. Ken Mock is on there.
Mhm.
I don't should is it fair that she's getting most of all the anger, or should it be evenly distributed? Because Mr. J was there, Miss J was there, Nigel was there. They all made comments. Some of them
Mhm.
were like really snarky and really bad. And yes, Mr. J was kind of sort of taking accountability. Everyone's saying he was. I'm still kind of looking for it. It's not enough for me.
Not enough.
Still shifting blame. And to
Yeah.
make it worse, now I'm seeing that they're like on a press junket, all three of them doing
Stop.
things to get. No, I am not, because who were they with? Even Sherry too. They were
Damn it,
on there,
Sherry. You see.
and Jay's selling his book, and now we're doing things, and I'm like, wait, I thought this was like
This
a
feels weird.
yes,
It's getting weird now. What this feels like icky. Like there was ulterior motives to doing this. So now you can
so now the little apology that we got, I'm like, okay, was it just an avenue? And it's like, I wanted more from the documentary in terms of, like, with Miss J, in some of the snarkier comments came from him, and
yeah.
I wanted to know What are your thoughts on that? Like the weights, you're fat or you're things like that. And I'm like, everyone was doing it and everyone is just, nope, it was Tara. You had to do what she said. Granted, I understand. And a past
Doing
contestant
my
actually
job.
said their talents too. And I'm
Hmm.
like, yes, but um, I'm wondering how far I want to take this.
Take it all
Because
away.
I'm just like, if our ICE agent came and was like, "Oh, I'm just doing my job. This is but you're doing it.
You're still
Your
doing it.
choices. You're still doing it." And it's just like, even if you want to be snarky, can we not make snarky jokes? Or you were complicit. I mean, just fully admit to it that you were complicit in this. This is like when we watched
Hmm.
the Diddy documentary, the R. Kelly documentary, and everyone's like, "Oh, and he did this," and you forget the whole time that you turned a blind eye to everything.
Right.
So
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
not saying Tyra is wrong by any means. I'm just like, everybody come to the front of the classroom and just,
Everybody, yes, everybody's getting written up because everybody did something wrong.
yeah,
And they're not. Yeah, it's just, well, it's easy because everyone's mad at Tyra. So they're like,
yeah,
yeah, it was her. It was all her, everybody. Don't even talk to me about it. She was treating me bad too. It's like,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, the doc had nowhere to start with except the Tiffany scene. It had to. It had to begin with the Tiffany scene because that is just what everybody remembers. That's what everybody knows. And at the time, honestly, I remember feeling like I understood where Tyra was coming from.
Yeah.
In terms of like um thinking that she was rooting for her. She had a chance to win, but I knew where Tiffany was also coming from. You get knocked down by life so many times, you just become numb. Like, I'm not,
Hmm.
what else do you want from me? At the time, I did not know about reality TV and editing, did
No,
not know that worse was said, and a lot of
no.
things were said, but I think this was the closest to Tyra saying, I went too far.
Yes.
Said, I shouldn't have done it, but yeah, I went too far.
Yeah, she lost her cool. Yeah, I definitely, the same as you, understood what she was trying to say to Tiffany because it's like, oh, you just gave up. But then it's also like, girl, I'm not, everybody doesn't just break down and cry all the fucking time like that. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not going to do that. And maybe I will later, but I don't want everyone to see it. And it's like, would that have made you feel better? You still just like
Mhm.
yelled at me in front of everyone.
Mhm.
Should I have
Mhm.
cried then? And then it
Mhm.
would be okay. Like, just, I wonder though, I I want that footage. I want to know what else she said. Like if we're going to talk about
Ah!
it, what else did you say? Tiffany, let me know. You know,
Yeah.
cuz she would have lost me there saying something about her grandma or whatever like don't do that, Tyra. Don't.
Yeah. I mean, there are
Li-
people that are still 10 toes down that was not, it wasn't that bad. Like, no, your grandma cut off her lights and bought you a swimsuit. You should have toughed it out. And I'm like, guys,
I mean, I do wish she would have just gone through it like Tyra said. That's where I agree with her. Like just read the
yeah.
thing. Everybody else is doing like just read the thing. But what I also understand because I'm like this, if I've decided I'm not going to do something,
Yeah.
I'm not doing it and I don't care what you say. It could be an auditorium full of people shouting at me to do it and I'm not going to do it. Actually, no, I'm super not going to do it. And
I've watched that footage so many times, but watching it this time with this documentary, the interpretation I got this time was like, what if she was dyslexic and we didn't know? And she was just
oh,
reading
good
that, and that
point.
was just so frustrating. And it's just like, this is so embarrassing. I don't know how her education was like, her reading
That's
was like. And it's
true.
just like, I'm just, some people just, that feeling of being embarrassed, like, it's hard for me to get embarrassed. So it's not my struggle. I have other
Same.
struggles. Don't worry, guys.
Mhm.
But but for some people, it's like, maybe this is something that was so sensitive for me and it's so frustrating. And it's like, this is in front of, you're conscious of the fact that this is in front of millions of people. And she was
Mhm.
trying, she did start to read it. And it's like, I cannot pronounce it. I'm reminded that, okay, this is not my world. I don't live here. Maybe I can't, like, it's just, it made sense. Like, I'm out. I'm tapped
Mhm.
out. Like, just leave me alone. I'm okay. And then when
Yeah.
she was packing her bag, she said, you put me through so much shit. So this was just one. of so many other things, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Tyra, that was crazy. You could have said all that. You did not have to do all that hollering. Like that was that was insane. She lost it. She
Nigel,
lost it.
Nigel said she scared us. We were like, I saw Janice in the background, just like, oh, like,
If you shot Janice, like that's crazy work. Ooh.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. It's February, and if you haven't already, that means pretty soon all around you, commercials, the grocery stores are going to be full of Valentine's candy, flowers, and of course that means lots of talk about dating and relationships. No matter what your relationship status, married, dating, single, or just focusing on you, you're right on time. Because much like adulting, we are all just trying to figure it out, and therapy can help you find your way and see more clearly where you want to be. With over 12 years of experience and industry-leading match fulfillment rate, BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of conduct and are fully licensed in the US. And it works because BetterHelp has an average rating of 4.9 out of 5 for a live session based on over 1.7 million client reviews. Sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com. That's betterhelp.com. Watching our loved ones age is one of life's toughest transitions, and a lot of people are part of the sandwich generation where you have to take care of young kids and aging parents. I've been through it, and I've also seen some of my friends overwhelmed trying to balance kids, career, and home while realizing they can't do it all alone. It's a lot to carry. If you don't know where to start, Care.com is here to help you breathe again. You can browse background-checked in-home caregivers or explore local senior living communities. At Care.com, you'll find specialized support for everything from meal prep to support for loved ones with dementia, backed by real reviews from families just like yours. And Care.com has safety in hiring tools so you can hire with confidence. Or you can even get a senior care advisor plan and talk to a master's level social worker to build a personalized care plan. I'm partnering with Care.com because it really is an easier way to find help. For a limited time, go to Care.com and use code AltocallMAFS for 20% off your initial Care.com subscription or a senior care advisor plan. That's AltocallMAFS, all one word. With Care.com, start your senior care journey with confidence.
oh man, that's funny.
Where's Janice, by the way?
Yeah, I don't want to forget about her, but apparently there's yet another documentary because and that's the thing about, I don't know, the world that we live in. Again, not saying Tyra didn't do wrong, but now it's just like a pile-on. So there's another documentary that's coming out that
March 11th, that one that's diving deeper.
I mean, it's on E. How much deeper can it go? But
Girl, I don't know, but that's what Lisa said. So,
so Janice is going to talk about that, and I'm like, what leg are you going to stand on? Please don't come and
Not
say
you.
she made me do it. Like I had no choice because you cannot convince me otherwise that was not your original thoughts. Those were not thoughts
Of course.
that you actually had.
Yeah, Janice, I've seen you on other shows being like that. So no. You are a nasty old lady.
Yes. Check out the Surreal Life if you haven't. But yes.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking of.
And also because I see other people have been saying like, oh, I wish they would do this for other reality shows, just the behind the scenes. There is something on Vice TV, came out like sometime last year, I believe. It's called The Dark Side of. So it's like The Dark Side of, and then they had one for ANTM, then The Dark Side of, what was it? Kid Nation. That, oh my God.
That was crazy.
Allowed to happen.
A lawless
My goodness.
place.
Oh, I was watching this and I was like, oh my goodness, this is so bad. We were so bad. They did what was that? The Swan one with the surgery and all that. I was like, oh my God, we were in dark times. And we didn't even
know it. We were like, this is great. Riveting.
We didn't even know it. It was my like origin reality TV story, and I don't know what that says about me because
that's why we just watch anything now.
It was like, give me more.
Oh, see, Tyra was right. She's like, you were begging for it. You asked for this. It's your fault.
It is my fault because honestly, I was just like, Tyra is so good at this. She comes up with all these ideas, and I didn't even think
It's
about
so
the fact that
creative.
yes, that it wasn't real modeling. Even though as I saw footage of like the later seasons, I was like, this is stupid.
It's getting silly, guys.
I didn't think that then,
No,
but
you're
now I
like,
was like, this is awful.
y'all are just doing shit now.
So, oh man, hindsight is 2020.
It
But
is. Yeah.
I do feel like Tyra is she's in the likes of Colton, Sandoval. As long as you're talking about me, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Guys, she's selling hot ice cream. It doesn't make sense.
I'm still, Ting, can I tell you the amount of time I spent looking up this hot ice cream? Because I don't like to be confused. And I'm like, I've got to figure this out.
Okay.
It's like a dessert and you can pour it. It's a pourable dessert. And I'm like, okay, so a
Ew.
milkshake. But then she has an ice cream cone with the hot ice cream scoops of it. So it's not it's ice cream. What are you talking about? Like I'm still so confused. What is this?
So she's just calling it hot and it's not?
But that's what you take a look and you let me know what you get from it cuz it looks like
Okay.
regular ice cream to me. You cannot have hot ice cream. Ice is in the name.
hot cream,
She
right?
just pissed me off. It's just Tyra just doing shit. Just more of that.
Were you surprised that Ken Mock decided to participate when you first started it?
I didn't have a thought about it. I was
Okay.
like, I guess knowing that Tyra was a part of it, I'm like, well, they're just gonna say,
Yeah.
whatever. It's gonna be one of those documentaries. So not
Yeah.
so shocking. No. What about
Okay.
you?
I was surprised because I'm like, I've always said this, people who come and to be talking heads on documentaries, because I don't know, I think this is factual that if you're a talking head, you can't be paid because
Oh.
I think I read this somewhere, correct me if I'm wrong, you guys are good at that. But if if you're paid, then you can be swayed to say anything that, they want you to hear, so you can't be paid.
It's a
I
good
don't know if I
point.
read that somewhere, but so when I saw that he was coming, I've always said I would never participate. Why would I bring that heat on myself? Like, what am I take it to my grave. It's okay. Find other people, not me.
Right.
So
I'm not helping.
okay, and when all these accusations are happening against you,
Mhm.
why would you come out and be like, yeah, I did that?
Ken was ready to stand on business. He's like, you've been talking about my show and I've had enough. Okay.
Yes.
We did good work there.
No, honestly. And by the third episode, I was like, oh, okay, this is why he came for numerous reasons. Guys, for context, this man was a producer of Making the Band. You can't face him right now.
That's such a good point.
You can't. Nothing you
what
say.
Could be worse? No,
could be worse.
exactly.
So, yeah. And then number two, he's like, everyone's blaming Tyra. I'm just a supporting actor here. That's not my that's not my thing. And three, honestly, this man doesn't think that they did anything wrong. There is nothing.
There was just the one the photo shoot where the girl, her mother was shot and paralyzed, and they made her pose as somebody shot her in the head or something.
Blew her brains out.
And then they had them like depicting like eating disorders and stuff. He was like, yeah, that one was too far. That one.
That was it.
That one was a bad idea, I will say. And it's like, okay, so the other ones were okay. You had the poor girl whose friend just died in the damn coffin.
Yeah.
You had all right. Okay.
Yeah.
Glad you can own that one.
I mean, I think they decided we're just gonna do one. So Tyra's like, I went too far when he came to Tiffany, and he's like, which one am I gonna pick? Oh, okay, the one where we shot them. Okay, that's it. Okay, we're good.
I admitted I was wrong about one thing, so here you go. Now get off my back.
What else do you want from me? One thing that Doc didn't do a lot of that we got from the podcast is like a lot of the creative in quotes ideas were from their trauma. So when they interview you, if you say, "Oh,
Mhm.
my friend just died. She was hit by a car," just best believe you are going to stand on a car and pose.
Mhm.
"Oh, I just, I'm allergic to jelly beans." They're going to throw jelly beans at you and say, "Make it pop like Skittles," or something. I don't know.
And
I'm
if you're
just
like, but I'm allergic, I'm allergic. I was like, too bad. That's too damn bad. When I was 16 and I was a model, I'm actually allergic to peanut butter, and they smeared it all over me. And guess what? I was fierce. And then I took some Benadryl after. Like, girl,
exactly
you
what she
yourself.
You know what I did? I just put it on me and I even licked it to add some extra pizzazz. And that's how you do a shoot. You hear
That's
me?
a top model. Okay.
Ah! So,
Tyra, please.
so Jay Manuel was her makeup artist. I'm sure I knew this, but I don't remember. They haven't been on my radar. And there
I
is
didn't
a
realize.
Oh, okay. Oh, we're two of us. So there was a
Mhm.
podcaster who was interviewing them, I think, on his YouTube, like over COVID and stuff. I have never seen any of the videos. So I think Jay Manuel was also on his YouTube show. So I think a lot of information for people who are just rewatching or watching the show for the first time. I Gen Z watching this show, all the commentary that was splicing in, I'm sorry, it annoyed me.
Me too. I don't need that in the documentaries. And I guess it, if they're gonna do that, I feel like they should get all the commentary. And I guess maybe they don't have like necessarily positive things to pull from because like we didn't have this when we were watching the
Yeah.
first time. But like, I don't know. I don't know. Cover
It's
all of it if you're gonna do that, is what I'm getting
yeah,
at.
I think for me, it's like, how can I put it? You're putting people who don't even recognize certain people. So it's like, it doesn't,
No, because
it
who is
doesn't seem
Tyra Banks
appropriate.
to them?
Yes.
They don't get it. They're just like, oh, some old model who's got
Yes.
this show. Like, you don't understand, like, this was such a big deal. Like,
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. It's not a full, complete picture. You
yeah.
don't know what we went through. You don't know the trenches that we were going through in the, what is it called? The aughts.
Yes, the early aughts. Jesus.
So,
Hey, we've been through a lot. We've been through a lot.
as if we hadn't. And then now it's like one disaster after the other. And you know what?
And then you're
We should
tearing apart my childhood along the way. Like, what do we have? We don't have anything left.
we need compensation. I'm sorry.
Yes, we do.
There's too much that's going on. Um, the documentary tells us that Tyra went to so many people and she got shut down and no one wanted to pick up her show, and then UPN picked it up. In the documentary, Tyra is so happy. This is the one. Don Ostroff is like, "Oh, I got this." The podcast is where you get the real tea, and the podcast was like, she was not happy. This itty bitty little UPN, what the hell is this? Is where
Uh-huh.
my show is gonna be on? No.
Mhm.
Not happy about that. But isn't it so amazing how even when we're listening to the podcast and when I haven't watched the show in years, like when they say a name, it just pops up in my head. Like you could still remember some faces.
Some of them, yes.
Yes.
But I will say, when I was listening to the podcast, they would say something or about like a certain photo shoot, and I'm like, damn it, is it who I'm thinking of? I was looking up everything to make sure, and I'm like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
so long ago.
Yes, it was. But Tyra in the beginning, it was a struggle, like in a hotel, one hotel for them to sleep in, one hotel to shoot the
Oof.
production crew, in another, the judges table in
Mm.
another suite. That is
Mm-mm-mm.
struggle.
Yes,
That
it
is
is.
struggle.
They said
But
you can do your little show, but here's $100. Make it work.
and they for casting. I like the way Ken Mock said, the head of CBS, a guy named Les Moonves. I'm like, Les Moon, like
Julie
not
Chen.
some guy. Like he was a nobody.
Right. You probably haven't heard of him.
Yeah, but you see how you knew who he was. This is what annoyed me about Gen Z. So like, if they say something and we're like, "Oh yeah, the Les Movers," they're like, "Who's that? What's that?" I don't want to have commentary with people who don't
You don't get it.
not
You don't get it.
equipped,
Yeah.
not equipped.
You don't have
You
the
know,
tools.
for that. So I don't know. I don't know how to parse or how to distinguish between the industry back then, which Janice was hired for, to say like, oh, this is what the industry is, and Tyra trying to pave the way. Like, what was her goal? If you tell these girls like, oh, this is what the industry is going to treat you, you have to get used to it, but you were trying to pave the way, and that's why they came to you, was
Mm-hmm.
because they're like, okay, you must have found a way before you did this show, right.
I don't know. Is it like she wanted to have someone, I guess, to represent that so she could kind of show herself as fighting against it? Like, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm trying to get into Tyra's hot ice cream mind. And so it's difficult, but like, I don't know why else. Cause then, they show us the clips of her kind of like going back and forth with Janice. Janice is like,
Yeah,
oh, she's a fat cow. And Tyra's like, this is how the American woman looks. So maybe she
yeah,
just wanted to have those moments, but it's like, that's damaging to the girls
very,
to hear that shit. So
very.
maybe don't do that if you don't want them to experience it, because they're actually experiencing it anyway now
Yes,
from you guys.
yes.
So the whole thing is like, it's crazy.
Confusing, just like
Hmm.
Tyra. But that's
Yeah,
what I was getting at, is like, you can't come on here and say I wanted to change the industry, but then you hired a judge whose job is to absolutely destroy these women. Why don't you get judges who all of y'all are on the same page? Where it's like, listen, we're not looking at it through the lens of the regular fashion industry. We're looking at it as the, I don't know, the people that they would not look at otherwise. So
hmm,
yes, you had that in there. So maybe it was from the tops, but
maybe.
it's just hard now for us to comprehend what the idea was, or what the end goal was going to be with this.
Right.
Especially since for the first how many cycles before Whitney, the
Like
typical
10.
person, yeah, you know,
Hmm.
was who was winning and getting to the top. And then following with that is, the Ebony shaving of her head. I don't think I remembered that, but you
No,
were trying to change the world, and you said especially for black women, and you didn't take the time to bring a black hairstylist or a barber to set
it
to
doesn't
do
make
that for
sense.
her.
Yep, it's not
No.
adding up. Something's not adding up here.
Yeah. Yeah. So all that contradiction is where I don't know how you defend that, because you can fight the top, but to get a stylist cannot be that hard of a fight, I
Mm,
think.
no, but she's not defending. She's just not going to acknowledge it.
Hmm.
She's like,
Hmm.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
Onto something sensitive, which is the whole Shandy situation.
Yeah.
This is crazy to me that it was the second season. I don't know why I thought it was like further down. I
Later.
didn't it was
Yeah.
I was about to say cycle 2, and now I'm mad with this hot ice cream thing. Why am I saying cycle 2? It's season 2. Like, what?
Well, because see, Tyra got just as doing shit. Why are they called cycles? Why did you do that?
But yeah, I want to say we all did her wrong. I mean, I'm not taking culpability. I don't know her, but this was just awful. This was just not good.
No, terrible. And I did not, obviously,
Yeah.
I shouldn't say obviously, we didn't know everything then,
Mhm.
but I wasn't even phased by it. I was one of those people that was like, oh my God, she cheated on her boyfriend. I can't believe she's
Yeah.
doing that. But
Yeah.
to find out she was blacked out and she had 2 bottles of wine, by herself, and these people, they just kept the cameras up and really set up the whole thing. Not,
Yeah.
let me
No,
see,
yeah.
let me say things correctly. Um, because why did those guys need to come
Creative.
over there? to
created an environment for a possibility of something happening.
yeah, what was that about? What does that have to do with this modeling competition that we're doing here? Why
Somebody
would you do
must have
that?
somebody must have noticed an energy, maybe like flirtatious, and it could have been innocent and just ended there.
Mhm.
Because if he was never there, maybe none of this would have ever happened.
No.
So for someone to say, "Hey, should the guys come over?" and for Ken Mock to be like, we didn't even show all of it. I'm like,
Wrong answer. Wrong
oh,
answer. What do you mean you what It's
yeah.
sick. They
It
are
it
sick people.
I don't know where it's streaming now. Maybe Hulu, and I just wonder if they're going to edit that now. I mean, am I
Yeah, at
okay?
this
I'm
point,
expecting too much. Am I expecting too much?
yeah.
Oh
You
gosh.
heard Ken. You're not even seeing this is child's play, is what he's
No.
saying.
Yeah, it
No, they're
is.
not cutting nothing out.
They're not going to, but it's just I think I'm on the bright side happy for Shandy that she felt safe enough in this documentary with whoever the producers were to share her story, because
Yeah.
this is the first time we're all hearing this. All
Yeah.
along, it's just the girl who cheated. And it's one thing if it just ended, there and that was it. It's just like we said, Tyra had an extended B-roll version on her talk show and just was siphoning material from the girls and whatever they told them in the interviews from Top Model and bringing it over to her show. So saying I haven't watched it, I don't want to watch it, and then forcing that on her, that how do you explain that? Like at least be remorseful about that.
Right. That
Nobody
was
wants to watch
uncalled
that.
for. It was cruel. It was nasty. Like, oh my God. And even when they were still in Milan, like after that happened, and Tyra's like, hey, everybody, I want to tell you a story about how when I had a
Yeah,
boyfriend in
yeah,
Milan and he cheated on me and whatever.
yeah,
Chandy. It's like,
yeah.
what is wrong with you?
That's diabolical. That's
Yeah.
diabolical. And I think maybe I'm not making excuses for Sherry. Maybe this is what she's talking about because maybe in a projection, I don't know, I'm just assuming. What if the tops of the producers are like, "Hey, since she did this and she's cheating on her boyfriend and she's feeling bad, you should go in there and you should talk to her and you should ask her and see what reaction we get out of that." And if you don't do it, then they threaten you with your job. And then Tara's like, I got to do what I got to do. And her ambition is larger than her humanity.
Yeah. She got to save her show. This is her baby. This is the top priority. So whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we say all these things. This happened many years ago. The problem is still that many years ago, without you don't have the show anymore, you don't have to save the show. These people are telling you all that they've been through, and you're still like, it is what it is.
Tame. Cycle 25 coming soon. She still has more work to do.
I can't believe she said that out loud.
She can't.
mean,
She's got to be stopped. She can't keep getting away with this.
I can't. She's like, you don't know what we got.
What? Is that a threat?
25.
Whoa.
Who's greenlighting you?
Girl. Oh my God.
That's crazy. That is so crazy. But what else did I remember? I think I forgot that Nigel was half Sri Lankan.
I
knew
don't
that, but I
ever
forgot.
remember knowing that with his fine ass. I didn't know.
Or that he wasn't on season 1. I thought he was there the whole time, but he
Huh.
was
That-
He was not. He was not. He was not. And the other thing to remember is a lot of these girls were very young guys, like literally out of high school. They were like
Literally
18-year-olds,
18.
19-year-olds. So, how old was Robin when Janice was like, she's old?
Probably 21.
I was wondering why Eva was not on this because, granted, the crimes of Tyra, she will pay for them, but it would have been good to see maybe some of the people who, I don't know, didn't feel that way, because I think Eva put out a post and was like, "It's what did she say? who can believe that when you didn't know what was happening in the club and you were in there, but basically she has no idea what everybody's talking about. I don't. She's probably lying, but
Mhm.
but getting her, I don't know, her point of view
Right.
on what happened with that, because Shannon was there. I mean, Shannon said she got signed by, an agent and
Mhm.
she had a good model run, but she still
Yeah.
spoke about some things. So it would have been interesting to just see that part and you saying it with your chest that truly you did not know anything was going on.
Right. So come over here and say it.
Um, Danielle is stunning.
Oh my God. Yes.
Stunning.
Yes. Still. Of course. But of course.
Okay, we finally talk about the race swapping shoot. Like Raven said, I like Raven. I just came from another country. I was like, this is what they do here. I don't.
Wait a minute. She's like, you American? Oh, why? Oh, I guess this is what they do. Okay.
I don't. Seems okay.
I'm dead. My 15-year-old self was like, what? This is going to be so cool to see. Let's see how realistic it looks.
Listen,
Crazy.
there's always my friends know this, and I talk about this sometimes when I meet people. Like, there was a curve. Like, yes, I'm black, but I came from a different country, and that
Yeah,
was
so
a
it's
whole
different.
adjustment.
Yeah,
Yes, a
I
whole
cannot
adjustment.
imagine.
Learning everything from beginning, understanding the importance, the history, all of that. Not like I didn't know anything at all, but just like truly, truly understanding. So, and
Yeah,
also it was just like a shock. It was a whole thing. Oh, high school was something. But
I bet. I know you got
so,
stories for days.
oh, sure I do. So honestly, I'm not gonna lie. In fact, my thoughts might have been like, wow, this is kind of cool. I don't
Yeah.
other people that they're not every day. I don't know. I didn't think anything of it. I mean, now I'm like, oh my God, this is
Yeah.
so cool. Not once, but twice.
I did not, whenever they said that on the podcast, I was like, I did not realize they did that shit twice. Because I didn't finish watching. I don't remember at what point I stopped watching Top Model, but
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing it happen a second time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was like,
Yeah.
I know y'all fucking lying. Not
Oof.
the times you did this. Okay.
Yeah. So, okay, Mr. J Manuel
Mhm.
talked about this, right? And this is part of my beef with him. Again, I haven't been following him. I don't know if he really talks about it. This was the first time for me when he just said, "Oh, my parents are from South Africa, so I know about this." I'm like, "Wait, what? You are what? South
Uh-huh.
Africa?" This whole time I thought he was Latino. I mean,
Me
what?
too.
That's on us. That's on us. He never said
It is.
Manuel.
No, he
We
didn't. We put that on him. You see, it's actually, I do apologize because he never said that.
Nope, he put it on there. But I don't know if, to me it felt like a duck and weave because I haven't heard him talk about it a lot, but I went to go look it up because I'm like, "Oh, what part of South Africa? Where are you from?"
Mm.
His mother is of Italian and Czech descent.
Huh.
His father is South African, but his father is mixed.
Oh.
He's not like full.
Uh-huh.
And for those who don't know, over in South Africa, they say colored. That's why everybody's getting on Tyler, but that's just what it's
Right.
called. It's not like like over here. So
Mhm.
basically, he could be. I don't know what he looks like. He could possibly be like not white passing, but like maybe. So
Kinda,
he's
yeah.
not like, you don't look at him and you think like, oh, he's South African. And then he was raised by adoptive parents in Toronto.
It's a lot
So
going on.
exactly, but the point remains that he just said, "Oh, they're from South Africa." Oh, I know, but you're not really like immersed in it.
Mhm.
And also, it's your dad, and your dad is like half South African. So for him to just say, "My parents are South African," it just felt like he was making it bigger than it was. He was like, "So I was aware." So
So that's
we couldn't tell.
worse. Yeah.
We couldn't tell.
No.
You were aware,
Yeah.
sir. So I didn't really like that, and it just felt like the whole thing of, oh, we're just pushing blame to the other side of
Mhm.
that. So there's nothing to say about that because it's appalling. They thought they were doing something, and
Mhm.
that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Kenya, not Not nice. You can't gluttony, elephants, you're gaining weight. And from the documentary, we know they're just feeding this girl and there was nothing. My God, this is not good. I just feel bad for them.
It's sick. Yeah. I mean, this, I cannot imagine this had to do such a number on these girls. Like, when she was talking about, and I don't really remember that specifically
Yeah.
from the show, it probably because they just did it so much like
Yeah.
to these girls. But
Yeah.
and she was said that she was like in the car like eating a bagel, and the
Yeah.
way that they were editing it to make it look like
Yeah.
she was eating 4 damn bagels and it was just the
Yeah.
same one, and they had it like the girls were looking at her crazy. And then
Yeah.
just Tyra being like, what are you eating? Why are you
Mhm.
eating bread? If you order a burger, like take the bread off, do this and that. And then the whole thing where she was uncomfortable during the photo shoot because that disgusting guy
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
like moaning and putting his paws on her and stuff. And she,
Yeah.
oh dear. Oh.
And then
That's the
see,
thing with Jay. That too. Another crime of
yes,
his, because she politely said, she was like, what would Tyra do?
Tyra,
This is what she would
yes.
do. And she stopped and she's like, I'm so sorry. I know this isn't anything, but like he's making me really uncomfortable and moaning in my ear.
Mhm.
And Jay's like, okay, keep
And
going. Yeah. I'm not
costing
hearing a
us money.
problem. I could not.
Yep. That was where I was like, okay, where's the commentary for that? Where's the commentary for Miss J and Mr. J?
Yeah.
Because Miss J was on the panel and they were telling her, you know, the whole gluttony thing and you're gaining weight. And Mr. J was the one who told her, like, you're costing us money. Like, just move on with it. So I wanted immediate commentary, like, so your thoughts on Kenya? And we didn't get that. So that's some of the places where the documentary was lacking.
Because
that
how did
regard.
we ask him about that?
Yep. Yep.
Hello?
Exactly. And for Tyra to be like, you need to use your feminine wiles. And you just say, boy, you better best get back. What is happening even? Tyra. You best get off of me. Like,
First to back up off of me.
and her
It's
excuse
not-
was
it's-
like, I was working with what I knew and what I had, but your whole purpose for the show was to be against everything that you experienced. You can't say it was what you had. You've been through it. You complained about it. So you should know if she tells you what it is. Don't give her that lame ass excuse.
Right. That's the thing with her. It's like she's fighting with herself to be like, I want things to be different for the girls coming up, but I also
Yeah.
want them to go through a little bit of the stuff that I had to go
Yeah.
through because I just
Yeah.
want to see that. It's like,
Yeah.
it can't be both. Which one is it, girl?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I want to talk to the girl. They showed a clip of a girl who walked off the show at the end of episode 2. The documentary where they were like talking to her and she's like, I want to go home. They're like, oh, you can't and she just stomped off.
I know exactly who you're talking about because that energy is something that I had from like age 16 to 22 when it came to jobs, when they were like, oh, but don't you think if you're in an interview and she just turned around and left, and like, I know that's right, girl. Absolutely. Get out of there. I wonder what she's doing today. I wonder if she watched the documentary and she's like, whoo. Oh my God.
Best decision of my life.
Hell yeah. Sometimes you just got to walk out and say, you'll never see my face again.
Raven.
I don't care.
Raven is like, I'm so validated.
Yeah. Man, I don't regret ever doing it.
The producer asked Tyra, what was your toughest moment on the show? And guys, this woman was thinking. And the producer had to offer, would you say Tiffany? She was, oh, yeah.
It's the fact that like Tyra, what moments were going through your head? That you didn't get. She's like, maybe if I just sit here quietly, they will go to the next question. Because I'm not answering that shit.
Tyra's just like, tough moments. I don't have none of those. It was fun.
No.
I got to live my dream.
It was
my
a great
legacy.
show. Yes, I was very successful and I built something great.
I I know people wish that Tiffany was on here, like even in the documentary, she wasn't part of that. But what they told us in the documentary, unfortunately, like the son that she had, while she was filming Top Model was killed through gun
Oh,
violence. And
yes.
I just can she catch a break?
I mean, when they
Oh,
said that on that podcast, I had to pause it. I was like, surely I didn't hear that right. That is
yeah.
awful.
How can you? Oh, no, that's
Mm-mm.
so sad. So
Yeah.
I guess she's just taking time out, which is good. Good for her.
Yeah.
Decides to speak out again, it has to be on her own terms. Like she's been exploited enough. But it also, sorry, it gives me context on Tyra was recently a guest judge on Project Runway,
She
and La Roche,
was.
who don't know, was
Um,
on their them hell.
yeah,
And
I watched a little bit of it and then I fell off, but
it wasn't so good. So yeah, you made the right
yeah.
call. But at some point, La Roche was like, "We were rooting for you. We're all rooting for you." Tyra did not laugh or smile, and I'm like, "Oh, that makes sense."
Was he
you
saying it?
know,
He was saying it like as a joke to one of the people, or he just like said
yes,
it to
yes, yes.
her.
And she turned around, gave him a look, and at the time, I'm like, I mean, just smile. Like, I mean, it's not, But
Right.
now I'm like, oh, I think I was so before the podcast unaware that it had a resurgence, and there were all these people
Yeah.
watching it. I saw a little bit here and there, but I didn't know it was that, you
Mm-mm.
know. And honestly, Tyra, we've seen you. What was it that she won an award for? And she was like, I refuse for my legacy. That's
Yeah.
exactly how she was speaking, like she was possessed.
She is something is wrong with that lady. Yeah, because
Hmm.
wasn't like Yaya was there at the same thing and she like
Yeah.
ran into her in the bathroom or there was
Oh.
something and
Hmm.
they were like, "Oh, like what did you think about that?" And she was like, "I'm not talking about Tyra." Like I did the show and it was what it was and like that's it. That's all you're going to get from me. It's like, "Oh, all right."
Man, I can't imagine in 2026 telling someone like, I don't have to walk around with your afro and being so proud to be African, or was it proud to be black? That's what she said to Yaya.
Just like we get it. And then they were mad that she didn't pick the hat. Excuse me.
Yeah,
And
yeah, that they got her to.
the show.
Yes, yes, there's a lot. Anyways, let's talk about the Mr. J saying that he wanted to quit in cycle 8. I guess my first question, do you believe he tried to quit?
Well, it's like, what do you mean you tried? Like, can't you just, if there's no like, there's like a contract situation or what? I'm just
Yeah.
confused. I didn't get enough. I don't get how you couldn't quit. And you ended up doing like 10 more seasons
And
after you,
thank
like,
you.
that's crazy.
Thank you. It
That's
wasn't one
crazy.
or two, it was like 10 more. And I
Yeah.
understand why he wanted to quit. Like,
Of
listen, we're at
course.
the point where we're doing drug addiction, bulimic shoots and stuff. It's out of hand
Lost the
at
plot
this
because
point.
what is this?
Yeah. So he says that in the very beginning, right? It was the Three Musketeers. They were all besties. They were all going around, but he told her through email that he wanted to quit.
Yeah.
What?
So I'm like, maybe that's
What?
why she was upset. Because if we're on that level, why can't you just tell me? A phone call. Let's go get lunch and I'll tell you. Like,
Yeah.
so if I'm Tyra, I too would be disappointed because you felt like you couldn't just tell me. This is weird. This isn't how like we interact with each other, you
I mean, I
know?
don't know if Tyra has friends, though. I don't know if Tyra saw him as a friend.
Okay, that's well, I was trying.
Are
See, this is what I get for trying to give people the benefit of the doubt. Won't happen again. What, Steve
Tyra,
Tyra? Won't happen again.
Tyra seems like she has an inbuilt scan in her brain, and she sees you. Hi, this is Tane. How can you help me? You
Mm.
can't. Boop boop. You're out. Well, if at the time they were friends. She
Mm-hmm.
needed Mr. J. She needed his creative, his
Yeah.
all that. But now I don't need you. I am bigger than you. You are my employee. Like you're not anything. So but for him to say, but the thing is, we see pictures. They were hanging out together. They were all there. So maybe the friendship had changed. But
Maybe.
tell us that. Tell us that. Like our
Yeah.
friendship wasn't quite what it was. But don't tell us, oh, we're besties. We did everything together. And then you're like, oh, I'm just gonna tell her. And then you tell her via email.
Yeah,
That's
it
weird.
doesn't make
Sorry.
sense. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And he says like he got a call or something, and he was basically threatened to do one more season or else. Or else what?
Well, didn't he say he thought they were gonna be like, "You'll never work in this town again," type of thing?
Yes. Yes. Okay, yes.
But I don't know. I can't put myself. I don't know what that feels like. I've never worked in
Yeah.
that type of,
Yeah.
industry. So I'm sure it is possible, and that probably happens to people. But
Yeah.
it's like, well, how bad do you want to quit?
Yeah.
How bad is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think that he did try to quit. I think it was just everything around the story that he told that was kind of like, okay, is it just bad storytelling? Because even when he said, I came back and said, I put my arm around her, and then she's like, no, and they replayed it. It's not what I saw, but
Yeah.
I don't know. The human memory, it's not always right. So I'm not going to fault him for that. But it was just like, are we adding a little bit of seasoning to this? Or,
Probably. Maybe people tend to do that.
yeah. But also, it does seem on brand for Tara just to not want to talk to him.
Totally. Like you said, well, I can't get what I need from you in that way anymore. So we're just going to, when the cameras turn on, do what we need to do. But outside of that, don't talk
Yeah.
to me.
Yep.
You're
Yep.
dead to me. That is
Anything
so
else?
uncomfortable. Oh my God. And
Yeah.
10 more seasons like that? No, like, can we revisit my quitting, please?
Why didn't he tell us how we got from 1 to 10?
Right. Where's that
They only
question?
wanted him for 1. Why? How did it end up being 10 more seasons? Which is what, 5 years? Because they were doing 2 a year.
Yeah,
If I
that's a
recall.
long time.
So
That's a lot. So did they
yeah,
threaten you again? Did you
over and
ask
over.
anymore? Or you just gave up? Like, I don't know. Because then it's also like, well, when at my mind, like, well, what if I just start being bad at this job?
Yeah,
You can fire
yeah,
me so I can be
yeah.
free,
Free. Yeah.
I'm not going to perform like that for you anymore. So now what?
And also, if Tyra doesn't even want to talk to him, why does she want him on set? Is that his punishment?
Yeah, probably. She's sick, Tane. She's like,
No,
I'm going to have you here and mistreat you and make you feel so uncomfortable because
It is.
I'm disappointed in you.
It is, but also remember they stripped down his role and they weren't even interacting. Because he was behind the cameras, he'll do that. He wasn't on the judge's table afterwards, after the one on the boat where she wasn't talking to him. So it was just a little confusing at that point. But then they asked Tyra, like, so now do you want to talk about Mr. J? And she's like, no, nothing. And rocking. No, that's a special one. I should call him. You have not called this man in how many years? Now you're gonna call him? And I'm like, Tara, you are so disingenuous.
Honestly, like, no. Why can't we talk about that?
Yeah.
No. You don't get to say no when we're having these conversations. You don't get to do that. This is a big part of it. You didn't talk about the Shandy situation, which is horrible. And now you can't even talk about whatever happened with you and Jay? No, pick one. You're not going to skip over both of these situations. Don't piss me off.
I reckon she said no to a lot of questions. We just didn't see it.
I'm sure. And that's why we got what we got. Just confusion and foolishness.
I do say though, and I don't know. When I was listening to this podcast about Top Model, I kept saying like I do feel like Top Model was in the wrong era. If Top Model was now, it would kill.
Yeah.
social media. You don't
Well,
even need to be good at your job. Look at what we got.
season cycle 25 is coming soon.
Right
So
there.
it will be. Hey, she said it, not me.
Oh, another person I wish we heard from was Niall DeMarco, the only deaf winner that we had. He's gone on to do The Guy.
Oh, I
He's
didn't see
stunning.
that. But I know who you're talking about
Yeah.
because he was in some show. Doesn't he act?
He did Deaf You on Netflix. He acted a little bit. He won Dancing
Right.
with the Stars. He went.
Mhm.
Listen, reality stars. I keep telling you, make me a fan. You got a fan for life. I'm still watching Grey's Anatomy. I'm a loser. So
You're not a loser.
I
No.
watched every single thing, even the
That's
Rita
called
Ora years.
loyalty. That I did not know that Rita Ora. I did not know that. I was
Yes.
long gone. I tell you, I didn't know that she hosted. I didn't know this is where Winnie Harlow came from. I had
Yes.
no idea. I was like,
Yes.
oh, not me learning something. Yeah.
Yes. I watched it on VH1 every day on my
VH1.
It was on VH1. I think it was 2 seasons maybe. And then Tara said, I gotta come back. And she came back and did one last one. It's not gonna end with Rita. I'm doing it.
Oh, right. She was like, hell no. Rita Ora, that's so random.
Yes, she wasn't bad at all. She really wasn't. It's just Rita Ora, fashion model. Okay, where are we going with this? Like,
Right.
yeah, if it was even like Kimura, that would make sense. But yeah, where was
Yeah.
Kimura? That's the
Where
question.
was Kimura?
Yeah, yeah. I wonder if they're still friends.
Tyra doesn't have friends.
That's true. I said that and I forgot. Okay. I guess a question I have. So based on the podcast, a lot of what they were saying about the girls is the girls were trying to get compensation and get paid, and like they made a lot of money off of their backs, and they signed all the contracts and things like that. Where do you stand on that? Because the argument is reality TV, when you get into it, you're signing off your whole life and don't expect compensation. The rot is at the core of the industry, but is that a fair ask? Like, for example, what they didn't cover was, oh my god, what is the name of the contestant who won the All-Star, and they switched it all over to Lisa because she was a sex worker?
Oh, yeah, I don't remember.
Yes.
But that was that was wild.
That was wild. It was a whole story. She was in Vegas and they reached out to the producers or maybe Tyra or something for help. And for things like that, I'm like, how realistic is it to follow up on every single person that has been on the show, and are they responsible for every single person? Now, granted, like, shows now, you have a psychologist on set and you should provide that. I do think at the very basic level, provide that. But like based on what their complaints and what they're saying is like no one checked up on them. How was their career? Is that realistic? Because statistically, not everyone's going to be a star. Look at The Voice.
Right.
We don't know anybody. At least we know names from Top Model. We don't know anybody. So that part is.
It sounds nice. Like in theory, that would be lovely, but I just don't know. I just don't know how they would do that. Like, that's crazy. And how many cycles have we had of this show? 24.
25
is coming soon. That's a lot of people. No.
Yeah.
No. Because then even if you were like, okay, maybe the top 5 people will check in on them. Well, like, that's not fair, is it? So you have to, if you do it for one, you have to do it for all. And it's just not realistic. So during that, when did the psychiatrists like start on the reality shows? I wonder, like having them on set, but you know what? Would they trust them to do that because they did the psych evals and stuff like that beforehand and they used that stuff against them?
That is true. That is very, very true. Oh man, I don't know the solution sounds easy, like just basic level, just be good to them, but also it's a reality show where it's like at the end of the day, their goal is just to create entertainment at the expense of whoever. And maybe I don't want to dive deep because I'm the person watching it, so I don't.
Me too. You're looking at. I watch baddies. Okay, like I. um, Tyra was right again. I was begging for it.
You guys are begging for it, but yeah,
But
so
they could
that's
pay
where.
them. They could pay them.
Yeah, you think
Yeah,
so?
I think they could do that. I don't
So
know exactly. Um, like they could get some residuals or something,
well,
right? They could figure something out like that. Isn't that what Bethany wasn't she trying to do that with her reckoning or was that something else? I feel like
I
I
just
heard that being mentioned as a part of it. And I'm like, that's fair because you think of all these people who just started
yeah.
watching the show again and streaming it like if they had to be tortured the way that they were, like get them that. If you can't get them any help or anything, the least you can do is give them some money. You got it.
Yeah, that's true. And then like the housewives get paid and are allowed to do like all these podcasts and talk about whatever that they want. So there is something they could do to work out a deal. I think Love is Blind also tried that to come up with like some kind of union to
Yeah, well, I bet after they weren't feeding those people either.
now we
You
have
can't
feast
leave.
fit for kings every season. We
And they
got
said
someone
you're gonna
making
see this
pancakes.
food. Look at the
So
spread.
yeah, I do think that that's the only part where I'm just like, what is realistic and what are the expectations? But at the very least, like put them in conducive environments. And I don't know. On this documentary, a lot of what's been said is like the pictures they took couldn't be used for anything. I think in the later years, absolutely. I mean, you got vomit on you and a gunshot, you can't use those. But
And that's so it's like, Tyra, you know that. You
yes,
know that. So what is this? What are we doing?
yes.
You're setting these girls up for failure. Not
Yeah.
cool. Friend or foe?
Why tell Danielle to her face that I knew you had a hard time, but I did nothing? I'm like, what?
Yeah, I did nothing. Sorry about that. 15 years later. Girl, if you don't get out of my face, what is wrong with you?
I can you imagine you shared a house with Chanel Iman? Like just she's haunted by what could have been. What could have been if I hadn't,
She
you
is
know, done this. And
everywhere,
that
everything.
oh, but
Yeah.
that's why I say Top Model was in the wrong time and era because right now they would kill.
Poor
So
Danielle. Oh my God, the whole Gap thing too. That I don't remember them widening another girl's gap after that, but to be like,
uh,
if you don't do this, you're gonna go home. Like you can't win. That's crazy.
it is.
Don't give me an ultimatum like that. Like let's just see what happens. And now you're punishing me and threatening me if I don't do this major like procedure on my fucking team. And you're supposed to be you back to the thing. It's like, which is it, Tyra? Oh, we're trying to get like outside of like what the modeling industry generally looks for, and we want bigger girls and different looking girls and this and that, and like that's something
Mhm.
that makes her unique and like stand out from people. And shouldn't we be like, yeah, hell yeah, like let's celebrate that? And Tyra's like, no, not gonna happen. Okay.
I hate a devil's advocate moment, but I'm a devil advocate right now.
Okay. Let's hear it.
So with Danielle, right? And then the girl who widened her gap, which I actually do remember. At the time, I was wondering if it's a case of a gap on a black girl. Oh God, this is a hindrance. We don't want to see it. But on a white girl, oh my God, this is the cutest thing I've ever seen. Like this is how it works. Um, is that a possibility?
Of course it is. Of course it
That's
is.
maybe that's what Tyra was going for, but it still negates everything she's saying
Mhm.
because
But definite
she's
possibility.
yeah, because the threats was not cool. when you tell her is either you do this or you go home, I'm just like, what are we doing here? Like you're basically threatening her in plain sight, in front of
Yeah,
everyone, everyone, and putting her under pressure.
it's
Um,
wild.
to do that, you know. God, also Jody, her teeth, her incisor, her thing just coming out. That was
Like
a
that would
lot.
haunt me from the first time I saw it. Ember, I didn't even think, obviously seeing it then it's like, whoa, ugh, but I hadn't had any like dental work done. I didn't have my wisdom teeth removed or
Yeah.
anything like that yet. But now I'm like, she had all of that. That is a lot of work done
Yeah.
on her mouth, and to have to keep carrying on and doing photo shoots and whatever. And
Mhm.
mm-mm. And
Mhm.
did
And
she
she
say
hasn't
she'd
recovered.
assign new releases and stuff? She didn't get to talk to her mom or like anybody. She just had to sign the stuff and do it right then. But yeah, she said she has issues that like can't be fixed at this point. They just like really fucked her up.
Oh man, this is
She's
just I don't this
crazy.
this is kind of a depressing documentary because it's like these are
Yeah.
the stuff that it's lingering. Like how many years later, it's still their life. They're still living this. And the effects of this is still in their life. Okay, the firing of the three thoughts.
The big three. Oh, that's showbiz. I don't know what that, I don't know what to believe.
Yes,
I don't, again, Tyra, I'm sure somebody at the top did say it, but it's like, girl, what, like, why? What happened?
I mean she was right. They got Rita Ora. They fired her
What did she
eventually.
say? They told her something about a cow. What was it? I can't
Sacred
remember.
cow. You know
There's
what's
no
the sacred
sacred
cow?
cow. And
And
I
that's what they're
said,
doing.
that's true, because look how they did Mariah on Married to Medicine. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
that
I,
is true.
I don't know. I didn't realize that they did that though. That was new information for me because I was
Ah,
gone before
by
they
then.
were. Hmm.
Yeah.
And obviously it was a bad call. Why would you do
Yes.
that? Like what was the thought process behind that? That's what I want to know. Because
They
the
just couldn't keep up with the Joneses, and it was
Mhm.
just like they were losing ratings, and maybe they just thought like if we got fresh new faces, but they didn't think it through who the fresh new faces were. The only reason I have a question mark on that, again, I'm just like if they wouldn't let Mr. J leave, all of a sudden they woke up and decided that oh yeah, now you can go 8 or 5 years later. But on the documentary, remember that they replaced they brought Brian Boy, and then they brought like a male model that was rumored to be dating
Oh,
Tyra.
dating Tyra. Yeah.
Yes. So that's like, did you get rid of them to give your boyfriend a job? Or was it just, oh, we're
Yeah.
looking for someone and you just gave him a job and they really did fire them?
Now, see,
So
I
many
forgot.
unknowns.
I forgot
Yeah.
about that. And I don't trust Tyra. So,
Yeah.
yes, that's what we're going with. Start
Hmm.
that rumor.
So many unknowns. They didn't talk about Andre Leon Talley. I don't
Yeah.
remember where he
What the
came, when
hell?
he
Yeah.
came in and when he fit in. So it was a lot. There was a lot of rotation because we had oh, what's her name? Not Peggy Lipton. Tippy. Oh, she had the pixie cut. The lady
Twiggy.
who's Twiggy. Yes, they had Twiggy at some point. They had Paulina Herzegovina, and so there was a lot of rotating people.
High
And I wish they
turnover.
yes, and I wish they talked about that. Was it because of Tyra, or is it this man in the sky at CBS? That guy, Les Moonves. That was making all these calls. So the documentary ends with us finding out, not for me because if you're on social media, you're gonna find out before you watch, but Miss J had a stroke in 2022.
Oh, it's so
And
sad.
I wonder how many people clocked that his whole interview was in a wheelchair. I mean, after you can see it that he's sitting in a wheelchair, but before like
Yeah, I didn't notice.
you wouldn't even notice that it was on there. And he's been fighting through it. He thought he would never walk or talk again, but he's talking now. I'm happy for him. He was able to do
Yeah.
the interviews, and he's hoping that he'll be able to walk. I mean, I think Mr. J came up with a thing that he's taking steps now. This is afterward.
Mm-hmm.
On that. And this messy producer is like, "Has Tyra called you?" He said, "Not yet. Not now. Just not yet." And then he gave a look through his glasses.
He's still in there. See, yeah, she'll call him after she calls Mr. J. She's got a list going. She's got some phone calls to make. I'm sure she'll get right on it once she's done with Cycle 25.
25, yeah. We're in production on there. And I want to point out that if Tyra even says like it came from the top, giving her the benefit of the doubt, that industry is like cutthroat, like it probably happened.
Yeah.
But again, you guys were allegedly besties, even though, I mean, at this point, did she not talk to Mr. J the entirety of the 5 years? I don't know. Was it just that first year on the boat?
Right.
Or
Unclear.
was it the entirety of the 5 years? But no matter what happened, if you found out, there's been times, at work, they'd be like, don't tell anybody. That has happened to me. Probably shouldn't say that on here. And I'll be like, listen, don't want you to be surprised.
I heard something.
So the least you could have done is like, listen, this is going to be uncomfortable. Like, don't act like you know. I just want to give you a heads up. I just had a phone call. I don't want to do this, but I don't know.
Well, Tane, wasn't that implied with the flowers that were sent?
That was birthday flowers.
Still. No. They had more than one. He should have known.
Oh, man. That's crazy. And then even back then, they went on interviews together. So, they're the trio. But I mean, the other two visited Miss J. They visited her in the hospital. But the room that he was in, I'm like, he has family and friends, right? Like, is it just a rehab place? I had many questions. Like, oh my God, I hope you have people in your life.
Yeah.
With you, but yeah.
I don't know. I hope.
Oh.
Yeah. That was a real bummer at the end.
Yeah. It really was. They woke us up with that. So, I mean, if at the end of this you're thinking it's a America's Top Model thing, never forget that Tyra Banks hosted Dancing with the Stars, and they did not like her ass. They got her out of there after did she make it to 2 seasons? Because they fired Tom Bergeron and Samantha, and there were 2 hosts, and then they got just Tyra, and Tyra was Tyra, and she just did not connect.
Tyra was Tyra. Did she also host The Masked Singer, or am I making that up? Am I thinking of Dancing with the Stars because she was looking crazy? I didn't watch it, but I remember seeing like videos and things of her.
I watched it. That was the season Iman Shumpert, when I was obsessed with him and I was voting all the time. I watched that season. Not anymore.
Brother.
But yes. She hosted, I want to say, America's Got Talent, but that sounds
what
wrong.
I'm thinking.
One of those things, because I know it was Terry Crews, but she hosted one of them in that realm. I don't know how long she lasted, but it was not Masked Singer. That was all Mr. Cannon.
Another one. Yeah. She hosted America's Got Talent for 2 seasons.
Okay.
She replaced Nick Cannon for that during that time.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
Guys, even if I don't know you, anyone listening out there, if you need to phone a friend, I got you.
Hell yeah. That was good.
as far as my memory would take me. So, I mean, that's it. I want now to see a documentary with Tyra's friends. I want proof of evidence that friends exist. And her mom cannot be her only friend. Well, she does have a boyfriend.
She has a husband, doesn't she?
I don't think she's married.
Oh. Not me making stuff up. I will do that in a second.
I think she had a boyfriend, but I don't know if it's the same guy that's the father of her son.
Okay, I know.
but I know she hangs out a lot with her mommy.
I just Googled her name, and why is one of the first things under this? It says Tyra. What's with the trench coat? What is with the trench coat?
Fashion.
Yeah, her boyfriend. Oh no, it
Yes.
says ex-boyfriend, Eric.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. So I wonder if they're going to make a series of this. People want this. I'm scared. I saw people say, let's do Andy Cohen next. And I was like,
Please don't. Please, please. I don't have much left. You can't do this to me. I will lose it. I will not. No. Do somebody else.
Oh, first of all, Bethany's gonna be so mad. This was my reckoning. You hijacked my reckoning out here.
No, Bethany's gonna be like Lisa. She's like, another documentary coming March 11th. We're diving deeper. It's just her on TikTok live screaming.
Oh man. They said do Mona Scott next. I said,
okay, yeah, do that. That's fine. You can go to Zeus, do that, do Lemmy, do somebody else, not Andy. I can't take it.
We got material with Lemmy. I mean, he's newest child is a former talent, so there's that. So
yeah. I could do the thing.
Okay. Any last words, Raven? Any last thoughts from this? On the scale of 1 to 10, how would you rank this documentary?
6.
That was my number 2.
Was it? Okay.
Yes.
We're on the same page. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't good. It's what I figured it would be after we found out that Tyra was going to be speaking on there and that she's like involved with it somehow. So whatever.
Yes.
We have that gorgeous podcast, so I'm fine with it because that's where you can really get most of the information. I have a question for you. I don't really have any final thoughts. Are you gonna tune into Cycle 25? Okay, I got my answer.
No. I'm not even gonna lie because I want to say.
I think you're gonna say yes. I got a yes from that. Yes. That's what I got my answer.
Okay, you know me so. Listen, curiosity is going to. I gotta see this. I gotta see the girls that are going to audition.
Who are the girls? Exactly. Yes. Who are y'all?
I think one of the questions people asked were like, okay, by the time we got to cycle 20, 21, when you saw like, we don't know anybody before, why are you still auditioning? And I think the best thing was, who was the boy that was on the podcast? And he was like, I didn't have any dreams of being a model. I just went there to boost my profile and see what comes out of it. And it was a good time. So maybe that's the answer for all these people. And also we live in different times and hopefully they're going to take precautions. But I just think maybe not with Tyra, but that's just me. That's just me.
No, I'm going to watch it because I have to see what this is going to be about. What's she going to be
real?
Doing? Who knows? If she can make hot ice cream, I think she can do. I think so. And I feel like I believe it felt like a threat. Like she's like, no, it's coming because I'm not done yet. Okay.
You know what I think she did? It's not in existence, but I threw it out there. So you got to make it happen now because I already mentioned Cycle 25 and she's going to pitch it like, listen, everyone's mad at me. Everyone's talking about me. We put it out there. The momentum is going. We might as well just do it. Let's just see how it goes because she's fully delusional that this is going to take off. So we might as well do it. So I don't think it's not even a thing, but I've thrown it out there and that's what she's going to pitch.
You're absolutely right because how many times have I brought it up in this hour and a half that we've been talking? Everyone's talking about it. Yeah. That's very on brand for her. So if it's real, I'll watch it. If it's not, I won't cry.
Phantom, we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As always, fun time. Thank you for chatting, Tyra, with me.
Thank you. This was great.
Can you share with people where they can find you?
Oh, yes. You can listen to my podcast, Bitch is Better, anywhere you get your podcasts. And you can follow me on Instagram and Threads at Mainly Raven. Thank you again.
You're welcome. Guys, you know where to find me. It is also called MAFS on all the social handles. Please give me a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and stay subscribed so you don't miss out on any new episodes. And please share your thoughts on this whole doc and this whole situation because this was crazy. So until next time, guys. Bye.